So here we are, day number 5 of my advent calendar is the Sari Silk in Techno. And I think what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to grab some locks, and I have some more over here, so I got plenty. And I think I'm going to core spin it to make a nice textured yarn. Day number 6 is Fable Merino, and it's got little neps in it. Let me adjust the light here, see if you can see it a little better. It's like a bluey gray. It's very nice. I don't know what we'll do with that. Well, we'll decide when we get there. And day number 7 is this Pisces merino nylon. I still say that feels like flax rather than nylon, but only in spots. Anyways, I don't know what we'll do with that one either. It's a stripy blend. I guess we'll figure out when we get there. But for now, we will start with the Sari Silk, and we'll do some core spinning. For core, I have a Mohair wool that I got from Colourmart yarns. I'll try to remember to link that. Whoops, I want that between my legs, coming straight up. And I will tie it onto my leader. I'm going to start with taking a chunk of this. The colors on this are freaking amazing. I love it. Look at it. There's just little clumps of random braids, and oh, it's great. So to core spin, you want to hold it over your core and let it wrap on from the side. If you are spinning counterclockwise, lay your fiber on top, it'll catch quicker. If you're spinning clockwise, lay it underneath, it'll catch quicker. It'll catch both ways. It's just quicker to work with the twist so it's pulled in faster. So I got a bit started with that. I'm going to move you in a little bit closer here. I'm going to grab a handful of locks, and I'm just going to fluff them up a bit. Pull them into little bits, chunks. And then add some Sari Silk to the mess. And then we're just gonna core spin some locks. So we just take a whole big mass of fibers here and just attach them, spinning at 90 degrees. Just kind of pull out fibers, let them wrap on, and you'll get curly little bits, and then there'll be, let me just increase my uptake here. Oh, and then we're going to get a little batch of Sari Silk. Let's see what else we get. This one wants to spin super chunky. And you can see how you get these little tails coming off. Texture, texture, texture. And we need a little more silk. You could do the whole thing in just the silk, and that would make a lovely textured yarn. It's just such a splash of colors. It's just wild and crazy. But I'm going to throw in some more locks. This one got super poofy, so we'll just throw some Sari silk thread over that, calm it down a bit. These are awfully big locks to be doing this with. I should have chosen shorter ones. They'll work, they just require a lot more manipulation. All right, let's switch up our locks. Pull them apart. Now these are just ones, I was using the long ones for extreme tail spinning. So for this, I'm going to use the shorter locks and coarse spin them so we can still get to really enjoy that length. All right, then we're going to toss in some of the Sari silk. I'm just going to fluff that out. Plop it all in together. Do a little bit of sort of blending. All right, I got a big bundle of colorful fluff. So we will start spinning and we'll see what happens. If you see any tails sticking out, kind of move them to the surface so that they'll hang down, or at least give texture to the surface of your yarn. Ooh, that was a nice clump. When you're core spinning, you always want to be coming in from the side at a 90-degree angle. I usually coreless core spin, but in this case, I'm trying to core spin this and it just doesn't want to cooperate. All right, here we go. All right. Whoops. My core ended up on top there because I changed my, there. I just pulled my core straight again to take the tension off because I ended up letting it kind of ply onto the core, so the core came over the wrapping fiber. So I pulled it straight to release the tension and push the fiber up so that that won't happen. I think for fun we might ply this back on itself and see how crazy a bulky yarn we end up with. Just for funsies. And you know, I'll try pretty much anything. I'm not shy. So we'll take that. And I'm going to do a quick Indian plying bracelet. And let's give this a go. Oh, we really need to increase our uptake. Ugh. There, that's better. Oof, that's a crazy poof right there. So I might try getting a little more spin in there. I may have to hand wind that through though. That's a big chunk. Okay. Oh, this is going to be a big chunk too. Chunky like my kitties. And we'll hand wind that through. I don't care if it's like way too bulky. I love it. I'm such a textured yarn freak. I just love it. Now we'll use our Always With Us Nitty Naughty. So there we have it. It's just a fun textured yarn, but I'm actually quite loving this. And this, you know what? I'm going to do another run, and I'm just going to core spin just the Sari silk, and we'll ply that back on itself. Where's my end? There it is. Okay. Starting to sound like the grandpa from The Princess Bride. There's my glasses. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Now, where were we? I love The Princess Bride. So let's stick that to there for a moment. I'm going to grab a bunch of Sari silk and I'm going to fluff it all up. And we'll try doing some right from the end. I usually like it fluffed up. It's just a personal preference. All right. Yeah, this is textured enough. I don't think it needs to be fluffed before spinning. Usually that's why I fluff, is to take the smoothness out of it so I can get more texture onto the core. But I think this prep actually has enough texture in it to go with all that color that we might not need to fluff it up. So let's try spinning right from the end. Oh yeah, that spins beautifully. All right, no fluffing required. See how we learn things as we go? And core spinning is pretty quick. It's kind of relaxing and soothing, and I'm thinking I might take a nap here shortly. I might have to get more of this now that I've tried it. I haven't ordered it yet. I've been looking at it online for a long time and thinking I should try some of that, and I never did. Now that I have, I'm wondering, what the heck were you waiting for? Oh, look at that pop of green right at the end. That's lovely. All right. Snap that off. And we'll wind a quick plying bracelet. When I'm plying, I like a really high uptake. I kind of brace against it to straighten, even out my plies before I let the twist in. All right, let's see how this goes. Oh my gosh, that is pretty. This is hilarious. All my thick spots keep lining up. Oh, this is so pretty. This is the definition of chaos. And in case you haven't noticed, I'm a fan of chaos. Trying to get away from it in my life and whatnot, but chaos just seems to like me. I think this is so pretty. It's got like little gleaming bits and all the bright colors, and it's just, I think it's gorgeous. It's so soft. You would not believe how soft this is. It's like crazy soft. I may have to spin yards and yards of this and make some cowls out of it, because that would be just so squishy soft and beautiful. So next would be our Fable Merino, which is a Tweedy blend. What can we do with this? Let's grab our Bible, the Spinner's Book of Yard Designs, and grab our cards, shuffle them up, and grab one from the middle. We are going to make a bullion yarn. So there's what a bullion yarn is going to look like. So I need to spin 2 Z-twist singles with extra twist. So I will switch back to my regular plying head. I'll get onto that, and when I have the 2 singles spun, I'll come back and we'll film the next bit. So I have my 2 singles. I Z-plied with about twice the twist needed for it. And now we are going to attempt to make the bullion yarn. All right, let's make our first bullion. So we want to hold our core thread tight. We want to wrap on, make a coil. Ooh, apparently I don't have quite enough twist in this. Come to the top of the coil, let it wrap, come back down the coil, let it wrap, and then ply. So we have our first bullion. So let's use the one with more twist to make the bullions. So we'll wrap it on, a little more I think. All right, shove it up to make the coil, and go up to the top, let it wrap around, bring it back down, let it wrap around, and then even ply again. Well, this one didn't turn out as tidy. All right, so we'll keep going. Hold that, make a coil, push it up, make a nice fat coil. All right, bring our yarn up, let it wrap at the top, bring it back down, let it wrap at the bottom, and then even out to ply. These are kind of cute, actually. I'll make a really long one if I can. Now this roving was a little tricky to draft. It tended to be pretty sticky, and with the nubs it was a little trickier to get an even spin, and I'm thinking that may cost me here, but I got little bullions. They're not real even, but they are real cute. There, I like that one. It turned out way better. It's big and puffy. I'm going to try making smaller ones now. Biggest isn't always best. Sometimes compact can be sexy. So we'll make a little bloop. Come to the top, we'll lock it in, come back down, we'll lock it in, we build up our twist, and ply. Okay, small is definitely the way to go with this. This one has more twists, so we make it the core. Come up, lock it in place, come down, lock it in place. I think my major problem here is I just chose the wrong roving because I couldn't get an even spin on my singles. So I think for the rest of this, I will just ply it. And I'm going to try that technique again with a non-neppy yarn. So I'm going to leave it on the table for a future yarn. And I'm just going to ply this up. So again, maybe not huge success, but look at how we're learning. I like learning. So for this one, the bullion yarn, you need to have really even singles to do that with. Really even high twist singles. And I see why, because when you start to make your bullion, your core yarn is losing twist. So you want it to have lots of extra. So I will check back with you later when I have a couple more days spun.